Hey, Grace, listen up. I got some friends coming over tonight for drinks, so I need you to clean up the place real good and make dinner. Also, get some snacks ready that go well with alcohol, okay?
Wait, what? They're coming over tonight? That is way too last minute.
Yeah, that's right.
How many times do I have to say this? You always tell me to let you know in advance if you're having someone over. Why do you keep breaking that promise? Telling me just a few hours before doesn't give me enough time to prepare. I've already been to the store today. Just cancel it for tonight, please.
Going to the store again isn't that big of a deal. It's not like you have anything else to do anyway.
I have my own schedule to think about too. I don't have time for this. If you think I'm always free, you are totally mistaken.
What schedule could you possibly have when you only work part-time? Stop complaining, just get it done. My friends are already set on coming over. Don't embarrass me, they're all looking forward to it. I can't just tell them not to come now.
Sorry, but it's really impossible for me today. There are plenty of reasons you can give them.
What? Why?
I'm having bad period cramps and I don't feel well. I'm in no shape to host anyone. I just want to relax at home today. So please cancel it.
I'm not asking you to serve drinks or anything. I wouldn't be happy with an old lady like you doing that anyway. You can go to bed early if you want. Just make sure everything's ready.
That's a rude way to put it. You always say that, but you end up calling me to help. You'll make me go buy more drinks and snacks. I really hate that.
You don't have to do everything tonight. Just get things ready. That should be easy enough.
I'm really begging you, please cancel tonight. It's hard enough for me to even think about cooking dinner right now. Stop asking for the impossible. Respect my opinion as your wife.
Shut up! I don't care about how you're feeling. Who do you think pays the rent for this house? Just do what I tell you to do. Don't make me repeat myself.
Just try to put yourself in my shoes for a second. Imagine if you were feeling sick and I invited my friends over. Wouldn't you feel uncomfortable? Wouldn't you want some peace and quiet? Do I really have to spell this out for you? Do you really not get it? You'd hate it if I did that to you, so why is it okay for you to do this to me?
I would never let your friends into this house. What are you even talking about? This conversation is pointless.
See, that's exactly the problem. You think your plans and your friends are more important than how I feel. Why can't you understand how unfair that is?
I don't have time for this. Just do what I asked. If my friends show up and the place isn't ready, it's on you. I'm done arguing about this.
I'm not your servant, Adam. I'm your wife, and you need to start treating me like one. Why does it always have to be like this? It's not about that. You really don't understand what I'm saying, do you?
If you have time to complain, you have time to go shopping. If you refuse to do this, I won't give you any money for next month's expenses. Got it?
Why does it have to come to that? You're not listening to me at all. Am I saying something unreasonable?
You shouldn't even be arguing with me in the first place. You're in no position to be talking back when I'm the one putting food on the table. You live comfortably because I work hard. You really lack gratitude and consideration for what I do.
It's not just you. I also work part-time to support this household.
Don't act like your part-time job is equivalent to what I do. The level of responsibility isn't even close. Just make sure you get everything ready for tonight's gathering. Don't embarrass me. I won't forgive you if you mess this up.
You're being so unfair. I do my best to contribute, and I deserve respect for that. You always make it seem like my efforts don't matter. Why can't you see how much this hurts me?
You think I don't respect you? Respect is earned, and right now you earn it by doing what I asked. If you can't handle that, then maybe you need to rethink your priorities. This conversation is over.
I'm not just a housekeeper, Adam. I'm your partner. We should be making decisions together, not you ordering me around. I need you to see me as an equal, not as someone beneath you.
Just get it done, Grace. My friends will be here soon, and I don't want to hear any more excuses. Don't make this harder than it needs to be.
Fine, I'll do it, but this isn't over, Adam. We need to have a serious talk about how we treat one another. I can't keep living like this. And also, I'm not coming out of this bedroom at all tonight. And please, try not to make too much noise. I really don't want to deal with the complaints from the neighbors. Plus, I'm not feeling well, and I just want to rest in the bedroom.
Yeah, I got it. I'm only bringing 2 friends. One of them can't stand onions, and the other has a seafood allergy.
Whatever, Adam. Hey, Kate from next door talked to me about last night. It was really embarrassing.
Last night? What'd she say? So what if she...
She said you made a fuss, yelling that my cooking was terrible and demanding I redo it. You were shouting and banging things around. Kate could hear all of it.
What if she heard? It's none of her business what happens in our house.
She was worried something might be happening to me. She thought you were hurting me or something. That's how loud and aggressive you were.
Hurting you? That's ridiculous. I was just frustrated. She shouldn't be poking her nose into our affairs anyway.
It's not ridiculous, Adam. You scared her, and honestly, you scared me too. This kind of behavior isn't normal, and it's affecting more than just us.
I didn't realize it was that bad. I was just so upset about everything.
It's not just about last night, Adam. This has been building up for a while. We need to talk about how we handle things, especially when we're stressed. We can't keep going on like this.
You're right. I don't want things to be this way either. Maybe we do need to figure some things out.
Thank you for saying that. Let's sit down and really talk about how we can change things. I want us to be better, for both of us.
Okay, let's talk. We owe it to ourselves to make this work. That neighbor must have too much time on her hands. It's creepy to be eavesdropping on the house next door. What a nosy neighbor, jumping to conclusions and saying stuff like that.
What are you talking about? She wasn't eavesdropping. She heard everything because it was so loud. Do you even realize how loud you get when you're angry? Please stop yelling and banging things around. I was so embarrassed. I hate feeling like this.
It's not my fault. You should have just redone the food quickly. Who made me angry in the first place? You did by refusing to fix it, so I had to scold you. You should be grateful I care. I wouldn't have to if it wasn't necessary.
You asked me to redo it just because you weren't in the mood. I put a lot of thought into the meals, considering nutrition and variety. Try to think about the effort I put in.
Yeah, I'm tired from working every day. Understanding my needs is your job. That's a wife's role. We've been married for a year and you still don't get me. You're not a very good wife. I can't eat fast food when I'm exhausted.
Always making me feel so small. I try so hard to make things right, but it's never enough for you. Why can't you see how much this hurts me? We're supposed to be partners, not just someone giving orders and someone taking them.
Maybe I've been too harsh. I'm just so stressed from work. But you need to understand my side too. I'm not the only one at fault here.
I want to understand you, Adam, but you have to meet me halfway. This isn't working if we're both just shouting. Let's figure out how to communicate better. I don't want to keep feeling like this.
All right, let's try to work on this. I don't want to fight all the time either.
Thank you. Let's start by listening to each other more. We can do this together. Then you should have told me before I started making dinner. I always ask you what you want to eat, don't I? Just yesterday you said anything would be fine. And then you refused to eat what I made. That's so disrespectful. Especially since the reason was that you weren't in the mood. That's just so childish. I appreciate that you work.
Feelings change, Grace. When you asked, I thought I could eat anything. Don't nitpick over detail.
You work hard every day, but your mood swings are really hard to deal with. Yelling and taking it out on things isn't helping anyone. It makes you seem like a child.
You're the one making me angry. It's your fault things get like this, so you're the one who needs to change. Stop blaming me for everything.
Why can't you see how hurtful this is? I'm trying my best to support you, but you need to work on controlling your temper. We're supposed to be a team. This isn't just about me.
Maybe I've been too harsh. I don't mean to take it out on you. I just get so stressed from work. But you have to understand that I'm not the only one who needs to change here. It's not all on me.
I understand that work is tough and I want to support you, but we need to communicate better. We can't keep going in circles like this. Let's try to find a way to understand each other's needs without all this fighting.
You're right. We both need to do better. I don't want us to keep hurting each other.
Thank you. Let's make a promise to talk things out before they escalate. We can get through this together.
All right, I'll try to be more mindful. I really do want us to be happy.
We'll get there. It'll take time, but we'll get there together. But are you saying that everything is my fault? Are you seriously saying that?
Of course it's your fault. You only work a part-time job, and even then you don't handle the housework properly. Your cooking and cleaning aren't anything special either. How do you think you have the right to talk to me like that? I'm shocked at your attitude.
So I'm supposed to live my life constantly worrying about your mood? Do housewives not have any rights at all? I feel like I'm suffocating here.
What are you talking about? Supporting your husband is the wife's job. You just don't get it. My mom understood everything my dad needed. You should learn from her.
I see. So that's how it is.
Modern housewives are just too soft. They can't help their husbands with work, yet they whine about sharing house chores and raising kids. They're only looking for ways to make their own lives easier. Housewives can't survive without their husbands, but they act like they're independent. I bet that nosy neighbor is the same. She probably has too much free time since her husband does all the work, and that's why she's so interested in our business. I'm the one who feels suffocated here.
So you think I'm just like that too? Only looking out for myself, not appreciating what you do? Is that really how you see me?
Well, maybe not exactly, but you need to understand how hard I'm working and how stressful it is. I don't mean to belittle what you do, but it's just not the same.
I do understand, Adam. I see how hard you work and I'm grateful for it. But you need to see that I'm working hard too, in different ways. We need to support each other, not tear each other down. Can't you see that?
Maybe you're right. I've been so caught up in my own stress that I haven't been fair to you. I don't want us to keep fighting like this.
Thank you for saying that. Let's try to find a way to balance things better. We can figure this out together.
Okay, let's work on this. I don't want to keep hurting you.
We'll get through this, Adam. It'll take time, but we can do it if we both try.
Yeah, we will. I promise.
Don't say such mean things about her. She's always sharing food with us and being kind. She doesn't deserve that kind of talk.
You're the one who told me she was eavesdropping on us. Because of that, I started seeing her differently, so it's your fault I'm annoyed with her. Can't you see how you set this off?
I've had enough. This conversation is going nowhere. Talking to you just drains me. From now on, I won't tell you anything.
Off? What do you mean by that? What's with that attitude?
It means I'm tired of trying to communicate with you. Every time I share something, it just turns into a fight. I can't keep doing this.
You're the one who blows things out of proportion. You make everything so dramatic. I just want some peace when I get home.
I want peace too, Adam. But peace isn't just about getting what you want. We need to find a way to coexist without all this tension. Is that too much to ask?
I don't know how to fix this. I feel like everything I do is wrong.
We can fix this together, but we both have to try. It's not just about one of us changing. We need to listen to each other.
All right, I'll try. I don't want to keep fighting.
That's all I'm asking for. Let's take it one step at a time. We can do this if we both put in the effort.
One step at a time. I can do that.
We'll get through this together. I believe in us.
Together. We'll make it work.
Yes, we will. I'm sorry. I was wrong. I just want to end this argument.
Now you're trying to flip it on me? Don't get too cocky. If you keep up this attitude, I'm going to start reconsidering a lot of things.
Huh? What are you talking about? You're insane. I was only agreeing with you. Did you misread what I typed? It seems like you only want to argue. Clearly you're not listening. I don't want to fight.
It's exhausting dealing with you. You always want to argue with me. If this keeps up, I don't know how much longer I can stay with you.
I understand. I really don't want to lose you.
I'm working hard to provide for us, to give you a good life. You need to show some appreciation and act more like a supportive wife. If you did, I wouldn't get so angry. I don't want to yell at you, but you need to step up and take your role seriously. The house looks nice, and dinner smells good. Your efforts haven't gone unnoticed.
I thought I'd make your favorite tonight. I want us to be happy. I'm really trying, Adam.
I see that. Thank you, Grace. Maybe we can work through this. You know, I do appreciate everything you do. I just get so stressed out sometimes. I don't mean to take it out on you.
I know you do, and I'll try to be more understanding. We can do this together.
Yeah, together we'll figure it out.
We'll be okay, Adam. It'll take time, but we'll get there.
We will. One step at a time. I'm willing to try.
Hey, we're not done talking yet. Where did you go? You just left without saying anything.
Does it really matter where I went? It's my day off, so let me do what I want. Stop trying to keep tabs on me.
Is this more important than the debt you've racked up? I still don't fully understand what's going on. Could you please explain things to me?
What are you talking about? What's the issue?
I'm talking about the debt. Why did you borrow $10,000? What happened? You haven't told me anything about this.
I needed the money, so I borrowed it. That's all there is to it.
But why did you need it? Can you please explain properly? Was there something specific you wanted to buy? I haven't seen you spend money on anything extravagant.
It was for some urgent expenses. You don't need to know the detail.
Urgent expenses? What does that even mean? If it was so urgent, why didn't you tell me about it? We're supposed to be partners, sharing everything.
I didn't want to worry you. I thought I could handle it on my own. Besides, it's not like I bought anything unnecessary.
I understand that you didn't want to stress me out, but hiding it only makes it worse. We should be able to talk about these things. You know how important transparency is in a relationship.
I get that, but I thought I could manage it without dragging you into it. I didn't mean to keep secrets.
It's not just about managing it alone. It's about trust and communication. If you're facing financial issues, we should tackle them together. I could help, but only if you let me in on what's really going on.
All right, I see your point. Maybe I should have been more open. I'll explain everything to you. We can figure this out together.
Thank you. That's all I needed to hear. Let's sit down and go over it. We'll work through this as a team.
Okay, let's talk it out. I'll fill you in on all the details. Anyways, I just needed it. There's no more to it.
But why did you need it? I need more details to understand.
Why do you keep asking? I needed the money and that's all there is to it. Just accept it already.
It's not that simple. You can't just brush it off like that. What are you going to do about it? You can't just magically pay back 1,000,000 yen overnight. You have 2 weeks left to repay it. What's your plan?
There are various circumstances involved. I can't just explain everything in one go.
That's exactly why I'm asking for those circumstances. I need to know what's going on. You can't just leave me in the dark about something this important.
If you want to know the details, you should first handle the repayment. Once that's taken care of, I'll tell you everything.
Wait, you want me to handle the repayment? Isn't this your debt?
Yes, I'm asking you to help with the repayment. I'm in a tight spot and could really use some support right now.
Debt? I understand you're in a difficult situation, but it feels unfair to put this responsibility on me. This is your debt. It's your responsibility to deal with it. We need to figure out a way to manage this together, but asking me to take care of it right now isn't fair.
Look, it's not about fairness, it's about solving the problem at hand. I'm trying to keep everything together and I need some help.
Fair. I get that you're stressed and need help, but we need to be clear about things. We should discuss how to handle the debt together. Let's work out a plan and see how we can tackle this situation without pushing the burden onto one another.
All right, I see your point. Let's sit down and figure out a plan. I'll explain the situation fully, and we'll work on a repayment strategy together.
There, that's a start. I appreciate that. We need to address this as a team, and being open about the details is the first step. Let's make sure we're both on the same page.
You're the one in charge of managing the finances, right? I'm leaving it up to you.
But who's the one using the savings that I managed to put aside? Every month when you run out of your allowance, you just withdraw from our savings without asking. That's why it's impossible for me to save up any significant amount. I can't just suddenly come up with 1,000,000 yen. You know the financial situation we're in, right?
Can't you figure something out?
I can't, and that's why I'm also struggling here. We're in a tough spot.
Oh, well, why don't you ask your parents for help? You're their only child, so they might lend you the money if you're in a bind.
Why should my parents be the ones to repay your debt? This is your debt, not theirs. You should talk to your own parents about it. They might be able to help you out.
Bind? My dad never lends money to family, no matter what. Even asking him would be pointless.
I don't even know if my parents would be willing to help. I don't even have a good explanation for why the money was borrowed. They wouldn't just lend you 10K without understanding the full situation. And honestly, I don't want to ask them for help. It feels like putting them in a tough spot.
So what do we do then? This is a mess.
I don't know, but we need to figure something out. Both in a difficult situation. If we don't address it, it's only going to get worse. We need to come up with a realistic plan.
All right, but make sure you're involved in finding a solution. We can't just wait around.
Of course I'll do my part, but we need to be honest and work together. Let's start by assessing our financial situation and see where we can cut back or find additional resources.
Round? Okay, let's sit down and go over everything. We need to get a clear picture and make a plan. I don't want to keep hiding things from each other.
That sounds good. We need to be open about everything. We'll figure this out together and hopefully come up with a plan that works.
You can figure something out. Just come up with some story if you have to. Anyway, I'm counting on you to handle it.
Are you seriously doing nothing to help with this? You're the one who got us into this mess. Why is it up to me alone to deal with all this debt? This is your responsibility, not just mine.
We're married, so it's not just about whose debt it is. We're in this together. You need to come up with the $10,000 for the repayment. It's your job now.
I can't believe this. This is really too much. It's impossible for me to come up with that amount on my own.
If you can't pay it, then we're getting a divorce. You wouldn't want that, would you?
What? Are you seriously talking about divorce right now?
Well, if you're desperate to avoid it, you'll find a way to gather the money. There's still 2 weeks left, so figure out how to come up with it. Also, go get the divorce papers tomorrow. We might need them if you can't handle this.
This is beyond unreasonable. I'm not sure how we even got here. I'm doing my best, but you're not making it any easier. We need to discuss this calmly and find a way to solve our problems without threatening each other. Divorce should be the last thing on our minds.
Yes, fine, but time is running out. We need to act fast. If you don't handle it, we might have to face serious consequences. I'm giving you a deadline, so get moving.
I understand there's urgency, but making threats won't help. We need to work together on this. Let's take a step back, plan our next moves. Let's see how we can address the debt without jumping to extreme measures. But are you really serious about the divorce?
I'm absolutely serious. No matter how much you cry or beg, if you don't come up with the money, we're getting divorced. If you don't want to end up divorced, you better do everything you can to gather the money. Hey, where are you? I've been trying to reach you.
It doesn't matter where I am, does it? Don't bother contacting me. You're being really annoying right now. I don't want to talk to you.
What's with that attitude? I told you to have the $1,000,000 ready by today. Where's the money? You were supposed to get it together.
I don't have it. I didn't manage to get it ready.
What do you mean you don't have it? Why didn't you come up with the money? Do you really want a divorce that badly?
What are you talking about? Didn't you hear me? We already got divorced yesterday. It's all done.
What? Wait, what do you mean? How did this happen? I thought we still had time.
I decided to go through with it. You were so insistent, I just made it official. I can't keep living like this. I'm not going to keep being threatened over something I can't control. It's better for the both of us to move on.
You actually went ahead with it? I can't believe this. So it's really over. What happens now?
Yes, it's over. We're done. We both need to figure out our next steps. I hope you can understand why it came to this.
How? What? Are you saying we're already divorced? What are you talking about?
Remember I told you yesterday, right? I said I couldn't come up with the money, and then you got really angry and started shouting. You say I need to come up with the money no matter what. Like, how fair is that? How does this make any sense? You even went on about how you'd file for divorce before going to work if I didn't get it done. So I went ahead and submitted the divorce papers. I just did what I had to do. It's not like I didn't follow through.
Out. No, the divorce was supposed to happen only if I didn't come up with the money by today. That was the deal.
Yeah, I know. Since I couldn't get the money together, I went ahead and filed the divorce papers. That was the agreement, right? I just followed through with what was agreed upon.
Cancel it! I don't accept this!
What? Are you serious? What are you talking about?
I didn't mean for it to actually happen. I thought we still had time. This is too sudden. I need to figure out what to do next.
Well, you were the one who pushed for this outcome. You made it clear that this was what you wanted if I didn't meet your demands. Now it's done, and we both have to deal with the consequences. It's not something I can just undo.
You need to go to the city office and get this corrected. This is a mistake.
I can't do that. The divorce has already been processed and accepted.
What are you doing making decisions on your own? I was supposed to file the divorce papers myself. Why did you go ahead and do it?
I wasn't aware of that, and honestly, it doesn't really matter who files them. The divorce was going to happen anyway. It's not a huge issue.
So you actually wanted to get divorced? Wasn't our marriage supposed to be for life? Didn't you promise to stay with me forever? This is not what I expected.
When we got married, I really did want to spend my life with you. I was committed to that. But things changed over time. Our marriage isn't what I thought it would be. At first, I believed we could live together while respecting each other, but you gradually became more domineering. You started treating me poorly, and there was a lot of emotional abuse. You began to act like you were the most important person just because you were working. You started saying that household chores were only women's work. You demanded that I always do what you said. I can't live with someone like that forever.
Wait a minute. So you're saying that everything has changed, and you no longer want to stay with me just because things got tough? You're just gonna walk away?
That's exactly it. I realized that being in a relationship where respect is absent isn't something I want. I need a relationship where both partners respect each other. I can't keep living in a situation where there's constant conflict and disrespect.
Things change after you get married. Husbands and wives each have their roles. Married life isn't a fairy tale, you know.
Even if there are roles, we need to respect each other. I realized that from our marriage. Thanks for everything, though. Honestly, I don't have much to thank you for, but you did make me see some important things. Let's both move on.
I always worked hard for you, you know.
Even so, your behavior towards me was just awful. You'd yell and throw tantrums whenever you didn't like something. And you always talked down to me. I'm exhausted from all of it. Plus now I have to deal with figuring out how to pay off that weird debt. Everything about this has been too much. I'm really done with it all.
The debt I took on was for you, too.
Me? I haven't gotten anything out of this.
I was told about an investment. They said it could make 10 times the amount if it went well. So I took out the loan. It was for our future.
I see. But I didn't ask for any investment. I'm troubled by you doing this without telling me and then saying it's for me. And if you can't pay off the debt, that means it failed, right? If you had consulted me, maybe things would have turned out differently.
I got scammed. It was a fraud.
You're such a fool. I'm really shocked.
Even with this, you're still gonna divorce me? I thought if I earned more, it would make things better for you. I did all this for our life together, and now you're leaving? That's really harsh.
Don't you get it yet? We're already divorced. And if you really wanted to make things easier for me, then you could have helped with the housework at least. You made me handle meal prep even when I was sick. What are you saying now? Stop with the excuses.
I'm just not good at this stuff.
That's not it. Before we got married, you were considerate. Now that you can't easily escape, you're showing your true colors, right? I see right through you.
Where are you now? I really need the money by today.
I'm no longer your spouse. It's not my problem. Ask your parents, since they're your family. Don't bring this up to me again.
But my dad doesn't lend money! Please try to borrow from your parents. I'll make monthly repayments. Isn't that fair?
There's no way I'm going to make my parents pay off the debt you racked up. What are you talking about asking for handouts? You made decisions on your own, got scammed, and now you're being so shameless. I'm done being at the mercy of someone who can't do anything without me. Handle it yourself.
I'm sorry, I messed up. Let's put the divorce on hold for now. Please, just help me find the money. I'm begging you.
How long are you going to keep saying stupid stuff? We're already divorced. Don't make me repeat myself. We're strangers now. Don't come to me when only you're in trouble. You said that if I couldn't come up with the money, we'd get divorced. So start treating me like the stranger I am. By the way, my ex tried to get money from my in-laws for his debt. I heard my father-in-law was furious, but gave him $10,000 on the condition of cutting all ties. They were also furious about the divorce and called me, yelling at me to get remarried. Of course, I recorded everything. My dad stepped in to make sure they promised not to contact me again. Since the divorce, my ex has been taking lots of sick days at work due to the shock and is even seeing a therapist now. If he was this upset, he should have changed during our marriage. He probably wouldn't have reflected or regretted anything if we hadn't divorced. I have no regrets about the divorce. Even though finding a new job and everything was tough, I'm now happily employed and really enjoying my life. After all the struggles of that marriage, I'm focusing on taking care of myself and enjoying my future.